Alright, bonjour à tous, Battosay here, welcome to episode 25 of my Let's Play. And as a sunrise, I wanted to start by a little world tour. Well, not exactly a world tour, but you know, a small recap of the mansion and what's inside. So, first, on top, obviously we have the windmill, providing mechanical power to what's under it, and that's the hemp farm here. The hemp goes under into two millstone, powered by the windmill above, and also on the same level we have 6 cactus for a small cactus farm. On the floor below we have the how is this called? Yeah, pumpkins. The pumpkins and melon farm. On this side we have the pumpkin, and on this side the reed, not the melon, the reed farm. Over there. In the end that's gonna be melon here instead of pumpkins, but I want to collect several stacks of them before switching to melons. On the floor below we have the manual melon and wheat farm. Again, the melon will be switched with the pumpkins later. All of the farms above are automated except the wheat and the melon here, and all of the drops goes downstairs and end up in the floor right below through water channels here into storage chests placed all around this room here. And downstairs right under that we have the big chest room with over 1,000 chests for storage purposes, obviously, to collect all of the goodies that I gather, because I love to have as many chests as possible for all of the resource. And also on this room we have a cauldron setup to dye wool for the 16 different colors, a small forge with anvil, some additional storage with for the cobble and the smooth stone, and the enchanting table and the brewing stand with all kind of potions. I should add a water source actually here, that's what I forgot. And below that, that's the part still not finished with the XP farm and where the mob trap will be. And also I'll still have to work on this floor. I'm still not sure what I'll do here. I'm probably gonna place my bed here somewhere, because so far it's just here. And I'll probably go with an indoor garden style with some trees, some waterfalls and stuff like that. Except if you guys have any different idea, let me know, because I'm still not sure of what I'll do here, except that there's gonna be some chickens here for small chicken farms, but besides that I have no idea. But that's not the plan for today. For the last 2 days I've been quite busy, and I started working on something. I wanted to have a reliable timer for the breeding farm, the second breeding farm that I'm gonna do here, which will allow me to mass farm the cows, because this one is a bit slow and I want something different. So I worked on a really reliable and original 5-minute timer, and I called it the Tower of Time. And that's yeah, what I did for the last 2 days. So that's using water. There's 4 different water streams that will fall all the way down there, far down. Let's go here. and be detected by 4 detectors here. And after some testing, I found the correct height for the tower, and this way I can have something like 5 minutes and 30 around 30-second timer using just the water. So to explain you better how it works, I'm gonna go to my test world in creative mode, in which I tested the concept to explain to you. Okay, so we're in the creative map with a much simpler design, but that's the same idea. So what we have here is just 2 detectors facing up, and above 2 sticky pistons placing a block and stopping the water from falling. And so downstairs under the detector we have a wire that will be powered when the water will reach above the detector, and this signal will actually send 2 different information. One when the water reach the detector, so when the detector turns on, and also another one when the detector turns off, because we use an inverter here, so we can have 2 different information from the same detector. So this allows to double the amount of time that we get, because in my setup with the big tower, the water takes 1 minute and 15 seconds to get all the way down to the detector, and it takes 1 minute and 30 or 40 seconds to go away and not be in front of the detector, which will turn the signal off. So what will happen in this simple design is that at first everything is off. The first signal goes to the first piston, so the water reaches the first detector, the detector turns on, the signal from the first detector will go to itself, turning itself off, which will remove the water. Then the signal from the inverted signal here will go to the second piston. Then we'll get a signal from the second detector. When it sees the water, the signal will go to the piston to turn itself off. And then we'll have a fourth signal when the detector can't see the water because it's gone, and this signal will go back to the first one and start a loop. So first signal, then signal from the second, then signal from the third, and then the signal from the last one, which turns on the first one again. And so to do that, instead of levers here to connect the pistons, I've used flip-flops, which do the same thing, turning on and off, but with a redstone pulse. And I've used the 2 information from the detectors, one to the first flip-flop and the second to the other flip-flop. So let's go back to the real map. We are back in, this is it, and this design is relatively the same, except that instead of 2 detectors and 2 water stream, we have 4, one in each corners, and they are labeled with the light blocks above, and we can see that right now the first one was unleashed, and we just saw that the water reached the detector that is under it, which turned the water off. So now the water is gonna go away. It takes, as I've said, 2 minutes and approximately 45 seconds for a water stream to reach the detector, turn itself off, and for the water to go away. And when it goes away, it sends the signal to the second water stream, to the second piston above. So every 2 water channels we are gonna have a delay of 5 minutes and 30 seconds approximately. I don't have the exact number in mind, but I timed it with my phone, and the results are in my phone. So yeah, that's something like 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which is a good number that we're gonna use for breeding, because the cooldown time for breedings for the animals is 5 minutes. So this signal every 5 minutes will be used for the breeding, and also maybe to turn on enough light signal somewhere, but later. Let's watch down there how it looks. So over there we have our detectors that sees the water, and maybe let's go all the way up. Oh, looks like I need some more rope. Yep. Let's get there. As you can see, still in a snow biome, so it's snowing a bit everywhere. That's kinda annoying. Okay. So we have 4 different vertical redstone transmission labeled with wool. We have the black, the grey, the light grey and the white, and they all go all the way above where we have our 4 pistons. There we go. And above, the signal goes to a piston that holds in place some water, which is just under the glowstone here. And the signal also goes above some weaker blocks above light blocks for light signals that goes down there with a small wicker roof, because now that the reed farm is working, I had, well, some reed, yeah. So yeah, and you can also see that I started a small road. I want actually to change the textures from the pumpkins because I barely ever use them, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit and change the texture from the pumpkin to have lights, because there's not that much blocks that you can place and that emit lights besides the glowstone, but yeah, it's expensive and it's not farmable like pumpkins. So yeah, I'm gonna cheat a bit, change the texture to probably just match the bricks, and this way it will looks like if the bricks were emitting light. And also I tried to prevent the ice from forming in the small lake here by placing glowstones, but sadly it looks like it's not working with the glowstone like that, which is a shame. Okay, let's go back down there. Yoo-hoo! Almost died once like that. So, yeah, down there we have the circuitry. I tried to keep the footprint relatively small because, yeah, using 4 different water stream and pistons isn't really necessary. You can just use one and use a counter. So since the water takes 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go down and then to vanish, you can just have a counter that send a pulse every time, every 2 occurrence. But I found it that it would look a bit cooler with 4, and yeah, you know me, I like to do complicated stuff. So what we have done here, that's the 4 detector that sees the water here with the color label here. It's color coded. How do we say it? Plain that. Well, let's start from the first one. We have our detector. Oopsie. Our detector. No, come on. Our detector here that will send 2 different signals. One when it turns off, and one when it turns on, since the signal is reversed, and it will go. This one goes, let me see here, yeah, so when the water from the first one goes away, no, when the water from the first one gets in front of the detector, it sends a signal to the flip-flop controlling the first piston, so the same one, and it turns itself off. And when it turns off, it sends a second pulse that goes into the second flip-flop of the second piston to turn it on. Then the water will reach the detector from the second water flow. So the signal, the detector will turn on and send the signal to the second flip-flop to turn the water flow off this time, and then when the water will go away, it will send the signal to the third one, etc, etc. And after that I have also added, how can I get down, yep, a small, well, small, a light signal, so that's just the signal from the different flip-flops. That's the one that goes to the torch above here, that goes to the torch and also powers the block here just below. And these signals go, where's the exit? Yep, that's here. The signal goes above here in this room. I like to call it the room of time, with light signals that tells me when which water flow is on or off. And when this light blocks here will turn back on, and when this one will turn back on again. So here and here we'll have 5 minutes, a 5 minutes delay. So I'll just have to go downstairs, I still haven't done yet, and take these signals, both of them. That's the first one that I want to take. That's gonna be after 5 minutes, this signal here will turn on, and 5 minutes later this signal here will turn on. And I added also a small setup to turn on and off the setup by using a block dispenser, placing a block, and when there's no block, the signal from the last water flow won't go back to the first one, and won't, well, this cuts the loop actually. That's the signal to turn it on and off. Obviously, yeah, still haven't worked on the walls here, just on the floor. I tried to make it at the same level at the storage room here, but I failed in my in my calculus. I was a bit tired and I went 2 blocks too high, so yeah, doesn't matter that much anyway. And yeah, this signal will also go to the first breeding farm, even if it's not that efficient. It's still gonna work automatically since there's the wheat farm above, which is cool. So I'll also take this 5-minute signal, which is more reliable than the reed farm setup. And a quick note for those of you that weren't brave enough to watch the 15 minutes long previous episode. I worked on a small, well, small, not that small actually, on 2 big cobblestone and smoothstone generators using, well, the trick that you all guys all know, I think, with lava and water, making smoothstone when the lava falls above the water. And I left it running, and yeah, it works very well. And since there's 10 dispensers with 16 slots in it, when I empty all of them, I get 3 full chests. So that's a lot, and it works really quickly. I just change something in the setting. Give me that back, thank you. I put the turntable on the first setting actually, with 3 torches on each side that send the signal to the block dispenser to swallow the, well, the smoothstone or the cobblestone when it's been generated. And this way it works much faster, and also it solved a problem that I was having with the smoothstone one, is that sometimes I had some cobblestone that would form just here, and this would prevent the smoothstone from generating here. So to prevent that, actually what I did is that I added, how can I go up there? Let's destroy that. I should add a way to get up there. Yep. I've added second sources of water, and as you can see, sometimes some cobble gets formed between the lava and the water flow. So looks like this setup isn't perfect. So if you didn't watch it already, just look at how Renevo did it. The way he did it works much better and takes way less space, because that's too big for what it is. But yeah, the room looks cool at least. So that's it. So the plan for the next episode will be that chicken farm that I keep talking about, just above here. I have to do it, but the reason preventing me from doing that lately is that I have to think of the things I'll do in this room here around, because yeah, it's gonna take some space in this area, and I want it to match what I'll do around. So I'll probably try to make it quite high, with the chickens laying in water with some glass blocks under them, and sorry, and then I'll get the eggs to fall here somewhere in some water, and then the water will take the eggs downstairs, either into chest or into a cauldron. And also, obviously, that's gonna be something quick. We'll start the real mass breeding cow farm. I think the best place to do it will be somewhere around somewhere around here. I'd like something pretty big, because yeah, something that will at least 40 or 50 by 50 blocks, because above it I want to make a huge automated wheat farm, and that's gonna take a lot of space, and I want to make it also close to, well, the Tower of Time, because that's what's gonna give the 5-minute signal for breeding. And I actually already came up with a new setup for breeding, and I'll show you that in my test world. So that's what I have in mind. The setup will look like that, with probably 16 or maybe even 32 different couples. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 couples, so 16 cows that will make 8 babies every 5 minutes. And here's how it works. The cows are all spaced by 2 blocks. There's 2 water channels in between. They are 8 long, and after 8 blocks it drops 1 blocks, and the cows are on a pressure plate to prevent the water from going inside. But yeah, I could even actually use the water. Let's give it a test by removing the not going in here, removing the pressure plate over there. Should keep the cow in, but the problem could be that the babies would be attracted inside. I'm not sure actually, didn't test it. And so when we throw the wheat, the bonus with this setup is that you can throw all of the wheat at once. So here I need 16. The wheat will flow, and the cow will pick it up one at a time and make a baby, since they will only get 2, and the wheat will get to them in order. You don't have the problem that sometimes they would try to breed with the next ones, because they will only get the wheat with at the same moment as the one on their level. Let's see with the water. Doesn't seem to have been a problem, and as you can see, times for the wheat to reach all the way down, all made babies. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they didn't actually. Let's yep, bring back the particles, give it one more try. So that was cool. To clear the setup, just to do that. Since they're on pressure plate, they'll trigger the TNT. There we go. Get there. Come on. There we go. Oopsie. Place them back. So that's cool with creative now, with the spawning eggs. That's really cool to test the setups. That's really far more easy than going into MC-Edit and editing the spawners, or using stuff like what's its name? The mod SPC, I think. SPC, yep, something like that. Anyway, let's watch it one more time. I hope that everything's working well. I thought it would be. First baby. Then the second. Then the third. made one. Them neither. And all the wheat is gone, but they didn't all make babies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one didn't? Let's see. You did. Oh yeah, that's because of that. So yeah, I need the pressure plates. Let's place them all. I'll just get rid of the code, place new one, and we'll give it one more try. Okay, so let's give this one more try. Again, 16 weight. And this should be working, because when I tested it, it was working fine. So the weight goes to them in order, so they don't try to breed with unreachable partners. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th. The 6th. 7. And 8. Okay, that's working great. That's cool. That's all I wanted, because I was finding that weird. When I tested it, was working fine. So yeah, I need the pressure plates. Right. Oopsie. Okay. Maybe not such a good idea. So yeah, that's the plan for the next episode. I'm gonna stop that here for today, because I'm quite tired and got lots of work to do tomorrow. So I'll stop that here. Yeah, again, I'd like your comment on what I should do in the main floor of my mansion. I'm gonna hold that off and start working on the breeding farm until I get your comments for that. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.